How's it going, everybody? This is GoldenboltLP. Welcome to the new Let's Play on the channel starting today, Editing Simulator 2016, where you can use this game to edit your own Let's Play videos, and I will show you how to do it, show you how to do the tutorial of it. It's pretty cool and pretty easy. So let's start off here. You can see I've imported a lot of the files for the latest Super Mystery Dungeon episode here. So there is one file that I haven't pulled in yet, and that's the actual voice of episode 62, which I've named PSMD F62V. You can distinguish that. This is the actual sound. This file is the recorded actual AVI footage you get from or MP4 footage rather, you get from Dual Capture, which is the software I use on a Mac. And over here is the screen editor that I use in case there's a backup, because it tends to fail every once in a while. Alright, so I've also opened up here because I take assets from other videos here to actually pull into the new ones, which actually it's going to take a little bit to make this, so you're in luck. You get to see how the whole process works. Now, I call this PSMD blank, and for everybody watching, right here, this is actually how I made the background here. Is actually a screenshot from a Maryland Let's Play that I used to balance and you know, find the proper sizing for everything. So here's what I actually do, so I don't have to resize everything myself. That was how I did it at the beginning, of course, was use that Maryland LP. Just to get the proper sizing, and I stretched it to the appropriate thing that I like to do. I like to pull in other videos into the same project so that they use the same sort of format and same sort of length, and then I crop things up so that we can line it up here. You're actually going to see a huge process in today's Let's Play of Editing Simulator 2016, because it's pretty sweet. Let me show you. It's a very nice process, and I can show you exactly how it can be applied for your everyday Let's Playing life. And it's very nice that the developers decided to go ahead and make something like this. So there we have it here. This is the top screen. You can see, yeah, we did go to Jewel Road in this, and oh, spoiler alert, crazy, right? All right, so this one is actually the bottom screen down on that side. So we're gonna go ahead and throw the bottom screen onto the project here from the older thing. You're actually going to see a lot of transformations of this LP, which is pretty cool. I'm excited for you all to see it. So we're going to throw this guy up here. We copy the same MP4 that I was just using. You'll have to excuse my computer. It's taken a little bit to you know, cool down from the LPing process, because it does take a little you know, some strength to do it, especially running on a laptop like I have. And occasionally the new ScreenFlow just crashes because I haven't updated my actual operating system, and I feel as though it's prepared for it, but I haven't had the time to update that yet. But anyway, here we go. We've duplicated the top screen here, and then I'm gonna pull these things down here so that we have only the bottom screen, and then of course we're gonna crop out these black sidebars here, because we don't want sidebars on our bottom screen being shown there. So there you have it. And then of course we're going to crop out the top here so that we have a full, nice, functioning bottom screen. And it's lined up already with the top screen because it is simply a duplicate and lined up at the same place on the timeline. So there we have it here. We're going to overlay that onto the thing that we pulled in from episode 61, and don't ever forget to save your project. It's always a nice thing to do that, and it might take a little bit to do it because I did bring media in across different projects, so that might take a little while. But regardless, we should probably be opening up GIMP, my primary picture editing software, because that's what we do for a lot of the overlays and a lot of the sidebars. So I'm also going to have to go ahead and pull up some of the pictures for Chestnut, because in this episode we actually evolved into Chestnut over here. So we're actually going to need to change what I have on the bottom screen there. So you're going to see Chestnut being put on the blank overlay down there, and then you're also going to be seeing the creation of the Jewel Road overlay, which a lot of people wonder how that is. Well, this is what Video Editing Simulator 2016 allows you to do. It's pretty freaking sweet. And while GIMP's loading up here, well, I'll show you guys how I go ahead and do some audio syncing. It's pretty simple. Everything's already been through Logic, and I run a compressor and some EQ on my voice. I don't do anything really with the game audio because I don't want it to sound any different than how Nintendo wanted it to be. So here's how the audio syncing process goes. Essentially, you can see it's desynced right now, and I go through here and I listen for the sound effect for when you can hear the pause menu come up. I heard something. That sounded like the pause menu closing. See how fun it is to edit things? Thank goodness we have Editing Simulator 2016, man, or else we'd be very lost. It sounds like the... There it is, there's the pause sound effect. A lot of times you can see it in the, you can see a little, like, difference in the waveform there in, thank gosh we have Editing Simulator 2016 to, you know, do these sort of things, for us. And then we can see it's still a little desynced there, and I always pause the game before I start it so that I can hear, and you'll see what I mean. Here's how it goes. I'll be a little silent for this and let you see how the game takes place. And I actually did sync it to the wrong spot, so that's actually a problem. Okay, so this is actually, I actually must have done the audio a lot earlier than I thought I did, because it's actually a lot earlier on the timeline than I was doing it. So now you can see it should be pretty close to lined up. Then I can get really, really intricate with Editing Simulator 2016, do something like this. Seems to be pretty lined up there. Now, if you notice, if we kept this at the same pace, it would be very, very overpowering. I like to knock the game audio down, you know, around 35%, as you can see from this previous thing. It depends mostly on how my voice is, but 35% is a pretty standard thing. So it is a lot quieter, as you can tell. And then since my voice has been compressed, you can actually, it brings up a lot of the other frequencies that would normally be unheard if it weren't compressed, and that's kind of, you know, the whole deal with what compression is. And, you know, I like to knock out a lot of the lows of my voice because there is a lot to it, and you'll have to wait. The editing software is taking a little bit. Hopefully we don't crash. That would be incredibly frustrating, especially after this. Ooh, we crashed. Ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing editing software, Editing Simulator 2016 in its full capacity. Alright, anyway, let's go ahead and open up. You can see a lot of the things I was working on for the last things I've uploaded. But anyway, let's search through my yeah, what do we got here? Yeah, we had a crash report. Heck yeah, we did. Let's pull up... I believe we can actually just pull up PSMD blank is what I've called it under here, under Spotlight. I believe that's what it's called. PSMD blank, yeah, PSMD blank. Well, it's not actually that messed up because I did save at a good point, so I think we're still all set. I think this is right before. Yeah, it's even down to the percentage I like. Maybe I can close out the other thing right now, and yeah, I think we should be all synced still. Yep, and then you'll see how I audio sync my voice on top of that too, which is pretty interesting. That's the wrong thing. Oh, this game right here. All right, so you can see these tiny little waveforms right here. You can hear my voice coming through a little bit. And I always say bag for whatever reason instead of pause because I feel as though that is a much more effective sort of, you know, thing to say. You can hear it a lot more, and I normally bump the things up to about 170, but as you can see, we're clipping over here, but that's the thing we fix. But you can hear that there, so let's throw that back throw that back toward the beginning, and I feel like bag is a lot shorter than pause, you know? But you do get the P, the plosives, as they're called. Bag. Right, left, right. You can see it's a little slow. Bag. Right, left, right, B. Yep, and that's about lined up right there. And now my intro is always very, very loud. As you can see down
everybody?
here.
This is GoldenBolt, and welcome back for more Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. Yes, we're back with Super Mystery Dungeon today.
Alright, and that's probably about the end of where it's... Well, you can actually see it clipping for a little bit more up around here. And I think this is where your ears should be adjusted at that point. So I'll knock this down, maybe 30%, and that should be a lot more pleasant.
How's it going, everybody? This is GoldenBolt, and welcome back for more Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. Yes, we're back with Super Mystery Dungeon today. Pretty exciting. A lot of things have changed. Well, not a lot, but a good amount.
You can see we're kind of already at a good place. That's what this game allows you to do.
How's it going,
It's pretty cool. You can get it for about $299 off of Steam. It's pretty cool, pretty cheap. Not too shabby at all. So now we grab everything and then we pull it to the top of the timeline here, and the video will start just how it does as you'll see it.
How's it going, everybody? This is GoldenBolt, and welcome back for more
Octopus. They're where are all the fairy types? Maybe Diancie is just gonna be like... Yes, and as you can see there, things are lined up very, very swimmingly. I actually need to pull up episode 61 there to do to actually pull in the recruits that we've had. Because now we're up to 300, believe it or not. And I actually already did recruit a Chestnut at one point, which is funny. So we're actually at 300 flat of 720.
How's it going, everybody?
And that's just a basic text overlay that's sitting on top of everything, so that's pretty cool. Got a little shadow behind it. So anyway, we're going to pull up PSMD blank, which is what I have here. And if you notice when I downloaded that Chestnut thing, it's actually something I want to actually I'm gonna not. It's actually something I want to change here because I want to have Chestnut there when we become him as the blank thing down here. So we're gonna relatively put him in the same section as our friend Quilladin has been. So he's relatively in the same place. And then we can go ahead and I believe Lucario's actually got a shadow on him, so we'll go ahead and drop a shadow on top underneath our Chessman there. It's such a very good game, man. And it's for a steal, $299 off of Steam. You can get it today. I think it's only on for a limited time though. I think it's only out today, which is, you know, a shame, but if you want to get it, you go ahead and do it. It's definitely worth it. So there's going to be the new overlay once we evolve into Chestnut, which is pretty cool. We're going to call this PSMD blank final because it will not change because there is no evolutions past Lucario and Chestnut. And then we're going to go ahead and export that as a PNG because they are the highest quality, and we'll compress it up to 9. That's where I have it preset to. And it's, it'll look very nice and colorful and sharp on the screen, which you're used to seeing. No, nothing too different there. So we'll go ahead and pull that new thing that I just brought in. And the recruits, again, won't change because I already actually recruited a Chestnut during my adventures before. So we're going to actually go ahead and take this, which is actually probably more of an underlay, I guess, than an overlay. Oh, editing things, you know, right? Oh, us video editor folks. Alright, I think I was already Chestnut at that point. And you can see that and I like to have these things happen right as the animations happen on screen. So I'm actually going to go ahead and change this here, and maybe we'll have the transition up a little, probably up around there. You can see the lights coming through.
Please, Chestnut.
That's a little too slow for me. We're going to go ahead and knock this, pull it to there. I think that'll be good.
Please, Chestnut. We are Chestnut again, permanently. Quill it into Chestnut. Yes, we are fine.
And actually, I think I'm actually going to go into here and scoot Chestnut over a little bit, because as you can see, the title is, the recruit numbers are actually overlapping on him, and I don't necessarily, it's not like I dislike that, I just think I would rather have it not do that. So we're going to go ahead and export it to there and replace it, and then that means we're going to have to re-put it in. Thank goodness, you know, this game is so advanced and allows you to do things like this. So we're going to go ahead, and as you can see, it wants to be refreshed here, and he scoots over a little bit, and yeah, I like that a little bit more. I think that's a little nicer, a little sharper. So Chestnut will be there at the bottom to show you our current evolutionary states, which is pretty cool, I think. I think I do a pretty nice job of that. And now, as I've been doing with the later things, we're going to go ahead and do the thing with Jewel Road. And I'll pull up the mysterious geoglyph one, just to kind of show you what I'm working with. Mysterious geo... Do we not have anything like mysterious geoglyphs? Well, let's head through some documents and some of my old... This is where I kind of store a lot of the Pledge Hill. That was one of the earlier ones we recently did, and you can see how we've how I've kind of set that up, and we just kind of use this as a... I kind of use the last ones as a basis for what I do. So we'll go ahead and delete all of these down here. I'm actually going to merge all these together and just do one big delete that way, so that I'm not just constantly hitting delete. But, you know, we're constantly hitting merge, so it's whatever. I actually recently revamped my, my settings for this game, so there are a lot of shortcuts that are missing, and so we'll go ahead and call this, Jewel Road, because that is where we're going, PSMD Jewel Road. And the best part is when you finish an LP, you go through all of my I get to go through all my files and clear out all of this stuff because I have no use for the actual assets anymore, just the videos at this point. So Jewel Road is there, and then we're gonna go ahead and start adding in the things the Pokemon that you can find, which is what I tend to do with a lot of things here. And there were a good amount, and there weren't a lot of fairy types, contrary to what a lot of people were telling me. So what do we got here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So we'll have a row of 4. This is just I'm just kind of methodical about this sort of thing. I hope that's, pretty acceptable for you guys. Let's actually pull up 61 here. I don't remember what we, we'll just kind of wing it. I was gonna say, I don't remember what I had done before, but I think I just said how many floors were on there and what Pokemon could be found on said floors. So let's go ahead and start adding that, shall we? All right. Oh, interesting that Charizard and my friend Alakazam there together. We might just do 3, 3, 3, and 1 actually, just to save us from the hurt, because there is, they aren't exactly lined up. Well, let's see. That's not too bad. You can tell what that is. So we'll just do 3, 3, 3. I don't want to have to, change a lot of the things there, and you recognize that that's an Alakazam. So go ahead and put this on, Lucario, and yes, you can find a Lucario on this dungeon. It was just a grand old time in Jewel Road, and it's just a grand old time using this new game to, and thank goodness it's a game I already put Drapion in. That's okay. This game is innovative enough not to, so you don't have to worry about that sort of thing. And we had Rhyperior down there. And then we'll throw in, we had Emboar. We'll put him on. And then the other 2, or the other 3, I believe. Hello? Okay, and then we had Cofagrigus. I've been doing my best to repronounce his name. He's a very strange Pokemon, so you'll have to excuse him and my pronunciation. Sadly, for all of the things that this game does, it doesn't actually let you teach you how to pronounce Pokemon, weirdly enough, right? It does just about everything else. So there's all we have for Jewel Road, and it's just kind of the Pokemon that you can find on there, and then, yeah, it's not too bad. I don't need to save as, need to save it to update it, and then we'll export it as a PNG. And yeah, it's the same backdrop as I've said from the, to get the proportions right for from a Let's Play that I knew was reliable, and I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. You simply print screen it. You would be more than welcome to do it with mine as well if you're trying to get things lined up well. I have no qualms about that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and Jewel Road, and let's add that to the project here. And I believe also I'll pull up we'll pull up episode 60's. Actually don't have it. Well, that's okay. We'll use, we'll work with what we got. This is actually 61. I want to go back to 62 because that's the new one. And, nope. And I'm actually going to throw Jewel Road in. And there is one point where we have to leave Jewel Road, so I'll have to remember to I'll have to remember to actually go back to the one we were just doing, and so this should...
Yeah, let's see how this fares. I'm a little worried with Jewel.
And right, that should be okay. I'm going to actually shorten that effect, and then we're going to go ahead and get rid of this and have it fade out as well, because that would only make sense. It would make sense to have the... don't want a starting transition, so we need to undo that, and then we're going to need this guy right here.
Yeah, let's see how this fares. I'm a little worried with Jewel Road, but we'll see. Oh, that just does not...
Alright, and you can see how the product is finally coming together and that sort of thing. It's pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead and pull up the Pokemon font, which is what I like to use for, we use Pokemon Solid. Outline is typically, I just stick to this because, you know, as you know, I am colorblind. So I just kind of stick to these and I can tell what they are there. And that's kind of what, we use for this here. So Jewel Road. And that's kind of how that goes. So let's have that fade in at relatively the same time everything fades out, because that would make sense. You know, it's a very sophisticated sort of thing, so I need to sound sophisticated, you know? I need to sound the part. And we're going to go ahead and put a shadow beneath that, and we're going to tighten it up because it is very, like, yeah, it's a little tighter. I like that a little more. So we'll go ahead and we'll shrink that, and we'll put it over... just over here where Jewel Road, where the title of the dungeon tends to be. So Jewel Road, and then there's one thing that I normally put on there, and that's the amount of floors that are there. So I'm going to actually go ahead and copy this because it tends to be, it's the same font I like to use, believe it or not. And we're going to shrink that a lot, and we're going to do floors 13. Maybe to make things a little bigger, and I don't know if you can hear it, there's actually a big music festival going on outside. I live in an area downtown, so I apologize if they're getting in the way of our very, very elite
Yeah, let's see how this fares. I'm a little worried with Jewel Road, but...
I think that looks pretty spiffy. So there is one more, as I said, one more issue that we have to fix before this episode is finished. And it is actually when I decided to leave Jewel Road and return to it. So we used an escape orb at one point. So I want to have it. Want to have the gameplay kind of, you know, the rest of everything that we're doing kind of mimic what we're doing in the game. So when we're not in Jewel Road, I don't want to say we're in Jewel Road. You know, it wouldn't really make sense to tell you that there's Pokemon on Jewel Road if you're not there. So we warp around there, and we fade around. We start to fade around there. So there we have it, and then we'll put this guy in.
We can get, because dude, this freaking...
Okay, and that'll be...
dungeon, this
Alright, and then we'll take these out. We'll take the Jewel Road and the Floors 13 out, and we'll bring back the recruits. There's a lot that goes into this, but you know, when you have an editing game, it makes your life a little easier, you know? It just makes things a lot better. Thank goodness. Editing Simulator. You know, I'm not being sponsored to do this. They're only paying me a couple $1,000, but you know, not a sponsor. You can get it $2.99 on Steam, Editing Simulator. So that should be, and then we just need these guys to fade out. And then there's one more thing that we need to do. We want all these fades to line up perfectly.
And see how far we can get, because dude, this freaking dungeon, this freaking game.
Yeah, a little bit of rage there. That seemed a little edgy, you know. But yeah, that's how things are. That's how things get sometimes. All right, so we were in Jewel Road and we came in with B Sharp instead, and yeah. We'll go ahead and pull back to when we went into Jewel Road there. We'll shrink this guy down. We'll pull the Jewel Road overlay back. And this fade should be about long enough.
What are the chances that we're going to run into another awakening?
Perfect. And it's not going to fade out anymore because we're in Jewel Road for the rest of the episode, so we can bring that all the way there. And we can pull these guys back. And I might actually line this up to mimic what we were doing up top. Actually, nah, that wouldn't make sense. It would just be easier this way. Oh. And you gotta wait. Hopefully it doesn't crash. I'm gonna be a little upset if it does. A little frustrated. Okay. So don't want that because I hadn't saved in a while. So you have to save regularly with this game. I know it's a little weird and you don't necessarily want to, but it's kind of how things are. So we're gonna go ahead and pull these fades here. Pull these fades in. Have this fade out for the last time. Oh, little off, shoot. All right, and...
Sorry. But what are the chances that we're gonna run into another awakening thing again? So we'll. That did a lot. So it should. There should. We're thinking tactically. Got to start applying some freaking Fire Emblem to this. Okay. What are you guys doing? Okay, I was gonna say, don't do it. Don't freaking do it. We're over halfway. There are very real and I think very valid feelings. But anyway, have a very nice day, and I will see you guys next time.
And that's how this goes. Pretty simple, not too difficult, you know. And then I cut every. Oh, gotta wait. I should probably update to El Capitan, you know. And I hope I saved at a good point. As I say, if it crashes again, I'm gonna be again fairly frustrated. Seems to have to load every time. Ever since I started doing the Pokken video, it really kind of took a toll on my computer. But that's okay. That's why there hasn't been much Pokken. But text clip. Yes. Okay. So there is our finished product for this episode. The only thing that the last thing I like to do is go in and find a good background image. I don't want one with numbers on it like that. I tend to find one at the start of a floor. Maybe we can do it at like the start of the whole place. That might be good. That's pretty good. So I do that and take a screen cap of that. And then there we go. We can start the editing phase of this. We can start the thumbnail phase of it, which is pretty cool. I'm actually gonna go ahead and have this export, and while it does export, I'm actually going to go ahead and start making the thumbnail for the video you're watching right now as well. I know, right? Blowing your minds a little bit because you know things gotta have thumbnails, and I'm actually gonna use the same backdrop. I said the same backdrop Editing Simulator 2016. Alright, that looks good. So we'll go ahead and use that. And I'll pull up another one, because I like to use you could probably use 1280 by 720 for the picture, but I tend to use 640 by 360. And we'll go ahead and take this whole, this whole kind of in general thing, and then we'll make it a little smaller. So, yeah. Where is my thing? Oh, there it is. So where's our canvas? So we have this here. It's a little too big for my taste, so we'll go ahead and shrink that down. We could almost probably conceivably shrink it in half, but I'll go around 60%, you know? We'll shrink it down to about 60 so we can get the full effect in there. To show that it is an editing thing. Yeah, I think that'll look good. I think that'll look really nice. We'll go ahead and show that it's more of more editing there than not, because that's what this episode of this Let's Play is all about. And then actually went ahead and he is. He's actually a me that I use, a picture that I took from Miitomo, which if you don't know, I'll post more on Twitter about that, and probably when the episode goes out. I actually do play that, and I will accept if people are interested in. I actually need to go ahead and add an alpha channel to this because we want an alpha channel, and we want to lower the threshold a little more because we don't want him to cut too far into my face. And we'll go ahead and start shrinking this guy a little bit. And I figured it would be cool to add my me into it. I thought that would be kind of a nice touch. And that's the weird thing about JPEGs, is that it adds things like that. And yeah, Miitomo automatically defaults to JPEGs, thinking that's what you want. But who really wants that, you know? Who really wants to use a JPEG? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put a nice shadow behind him. And, yeah, sadly you can't exactly play as a me in Editing Simulator 2016, but, you know, you kind of work with what you have. And sometimes when this happens, it changes the canvas size a little bit, which it did slightly, added 30 more pixels onto it, which we don't want. So we'll go ahead and put that there. I'm actually going to darken the backdrop a little bit, you know, just to contrast what's going to be on the front. So we're going to go ahead and darken things a little bit. Yeah, I think maybe pull it up a little bit more, you know, around there. And then we'll go ahead and start. I'll put in the little editing simulator 2016 text, which shouldn't be too bad. I'm probably going to use. I like to. We could use that Star Jedi one, but I do like to use Mario font a lot. I feel as though it fits very well. So we'll go editing. We'll actually just do. We'll actually just have this part say editing. And this is going to be the thumbnail you see when you before you've clicked on this video. So we'll bump this up to 50. Nah, we could go probably 80. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then we'll go ahead and select every single letter here, and then I'll put a cool coloration to it. Something that would stick out, you know, on top of the other things that we were there. Or maybe what's the CD one? Let's see if we like that. I kind of do, you know. I kind of do like the way that looks. Let's see what that looks like when. Nah, I don't know about that. You know, I actually use the one we use for Super Mystery Dungeon. I like this a lot. It's pretty similar to the other one, but I actually just really like this one. So we'll go ahead and do that. And of course, I'm going to add an outline to it once I have everything done. So we'll go ahead and copy and paste this. Oh, nope, we're actually not. Actually, no, I'm just going to do it again. Editing, simulator. It's got to pay homage to the people who made this. And we'll probably make that a little smaller, you know, because it's a bigger word and I don't want it to necessarily cover up. Maybe I'll just move my me down. That sort of thing. You could probably adjust a lot of the things here, you know. Editing. Simulator. Why not? Why not make this a little smaller? Knock this down to 70, you know? It'll look good. It'll look pretty freaking great. And then we'll go ahead and do what we did just before, and I'm going to use the same actual style for that, you know? Editing Simulator's got a lot of cool styles to it. So there's Editing Simulator, and then we're going to use a different font for 2016. I haven't decided what it is. We'll see what comes up here. This one looks pretty cool. So we'll go 2016, and then I'll make that a little bigger because, you know, I feel like this will look fine. Edit. What would it look like bold? Nah, we'll change it. I'm not a huge fan, honestly. Could use this one. Again, a possibility. You know, you gotta work with what you got. What's this? No. What's phosphate? Ooh, I like that one. So we'll go ahead and do... Actually, that'll be weird for an outline. So we'll go ahead... Yeah, we'll do the other Mario font. I like this one, too. So we'll probably make that a little smaller, you know. 66. That looks good. And we'll put that, like... You know, we kind of got things... Actually, I'm just going to keep it off to the side like this. That'll be a cool little logo here. Pay homage to the company, you know, all that sort of stuff. And I want this to look red. I had the idea of a red coloration in my mind for it. The 2016 for whatever. Maybe it's just a very, very red sort of year or something like that. Ooh, or we could do yellow-orange. That might look cool. Yeah, I like that. So now comes the difficult part because I always forget how to do it. And I think it might be... Let's actually start with editing, because I don't remember. Edit. Edit the editing. And I want to do path from text. I actually think I needed to do this first, so we'll go... So we need to have a new layer here, and then we need to do select from path, and then you grow about 3 or 4 pixels, and then you fill that in with black, so that you have a black outline. That's what that does. And ba-boom. And that looks nice. We'll go ahead and... nope. And we'll go ahead and move that below. Wow, I'm doing a pretty good job remembering how to do this sort of thing. Probably should have just waited to do the this part afterwards. But at least now we have an idea of what it's going to look like. Yeah, there we go. And now it's got a nice outline, you see? Looks pretty good if I do say so myself. think that's not bad. All right, so let's actually do the same thing here. We're gonna have to redo what we did, edit, and that's gonna change back, and we're gonna go path from text, and then we're gonna need a new layer, and then we're going to go from path, and I think I'm gonna grow a little more because let's try a solid 5 for this one. That might make things stand out a little bit more. Yeah. I always want to do new layer instead of that, but we're gonna actually move that down, and then simulator gonna want to go through and choose all the letters again. Editing simulator, what are you doing? This is very weird. So there, I was like, I don't know how it was choosing all the letters there. Oh well. And then we'll go ahead and do that. And there's that, and that looks very nice, very sleek. Little chunky, but you know, it's what I'm capable of. We might actually make the background a little bit darker, and then we'll of course give the 2016 an outline too, because that would look foolish if we didn't. I actually prefer the outlines in the actual video editing section. Strangely, that's just what I prefer. We're gonna go path from text, and then we're gonna go a new layer, and then we're gonna go from path. Then we're gonna didn't mean to do that, and then we're gonna grow that again. Grow a nice solid 5 pixels. And then, of course, we'll make the outline black as well. And then move that down. And then we'll bring this back to being yellow-orange. And that'll look pretty freaking cool. Oops. Silly me. I forgot to choose the numbers. I did just buy this program. Again, $299 is what I'm saying. All right. It's looking pretty spiffy. We're probably going to want to move some things there so it's not overlapping too much, or let's actually merge everything down with its outline so that they all move together when I need to move them together. So let's go ahead and move this one down. Very meticulously, and then editing the simulator will be over here. And I think, as I said before, I'm going to actually change the brightness a little bit more and maybe contrast it up a little. I think that looks pretty dang spiffy for what we've got. I might drop some shadows of I might actually go ahead and do that now. Drop some shadows down, you know. Go ahead and set that to the default I set things to, and of course, as you saw, it did move the canvas a little bit, so we're gonna have to adjust that. Again, it did it there. And then 2016 is gonna want a shadow too. I just like drop shadows. I think that it makes things look a lot more professional, stand out a little bit more. I'm not the best at making these, you know, of course. I'm a noob at this game. So we're going to want to go 640 by 360, and I think that's exactly new. That is not right. I actually screwed up a little bit there. 640 by 360, and that is where we want it. Yes. So yeah, there we have that. Let's let's merge these down with their shadows. Move editing up to the corner, just like this. And then I kind of use very similar processes for the actual like gameplay sort of thing. So editing simulator 2016. And if we could find some kind of let's find a movie reel clip art to throw on there, you know. That'll look, yeah, this sort of thing will look really good, I think, to add to the effect of it. And let's, of course, look for a PNG, you know, because that way there is no, there's not going to be a background you got to work with. And I kind of like this one, maybe, yeah, and it does have a, movie reel automatically downloaded it for us. That's nice. That's nice and effective. So let's throw this guy in. And I think that's a pretty good finished product for our thumbnail there, everybody. I think that looks pretty good. Editing simulator. Oop, actually, there is one slight thing I wanna adjust here. You know, pulling this guy back onto the screen a little bit more. Yeah, and I think that looks pretty good. Pretty good homage to the logo. Editing Simulator 2016. Yeah. looks good. Got our me on there too. Got the backdrop, and that's gonna be the file you see, the thumbnail you would have seen when you clicked in, and that's the kind of thing that goes into editing this. And so essentially, I'll use the same process I used for making the everything I did for the episode that you were watching. The same sort of process for this, less syncing problems, actually a lot less things that I have to do for that as I did for this. And yeah, I hope you let's see what we got on there. We got about 7 minutes remaining before episode 62 is finished, but I hope you enjoyed our adventures through Editing Simulator 2016. It's a very nice game, very fun. Helps you become a very efficient and meticulous Let's Player, no doubt about that. You can get it now for $299 off of Steam. Here it's coming to Nintendo eShop also. I'm not sure why, but it will be 3DS one, not the Wii U one. So sorry for everybody who has a home Wii U console. You're not going to be able to use editing software 2016 on your Wii U. Also, I believe it's coming out. It's going to be released on Windows 95 as well, so you can look for it there. So you can play it at home on your desktop. Don't forget to ask your parents before you use the computer. And all right, everybody, thanks for joining me through this episode of Editing Simulator 2016. Next time we're going to be editing, I don't even know, maybe we'll take a camera out and look at some birds or something. Then we'll edit that. That'll be tomorrow or something. Or